This is The Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa, Internet World, West Alabama. How we doing today on this Monday? It's the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com. Hanging out with you guys in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios, right here off of McFarland Boulevard. You guys are watching us on the Bama Central YouTube channel. You're watching us on the Bama Central Facebook channel. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon. Oh my gosh, we have a ton to get into. So thank you guys so much for jumping in and joining us on the comment section at Joe Gaither 6. You can send us a comment right there on your favorite podcast or Spotify, whatever social media platform. You can call us at 205-462-7340, extension 800. Leave us a voicemail if you want to talk about anything that we have to say today. We're live in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios with our friends. We need a good nickname for a pair. Theo Fernandez and Hunter Brantley. I had a mean one coming to my head, but it's not nice. And I don't want to say Tweedledee and Tweedledum. That's not true. These guys are experts. I mean, Theo was in Newark this past weekend. So these guys are up on it. Hunter, all over the baseball program, all over the March Madness. Really, Hunter, actually, I want to start right there. Yeah, perfect. I want to start right there. You follow Hunter Brantley at Hunter Brantley 8. Hunter Brantley 8 on the Twitter machine. You can raise that to be even more comfortable. I don't want you to be hunched over. I just want you to be comfortable, brother. You just be as comfortable as you can. Yeah, right. Now you don't have to worry about it. Perfect. I want to start right here with Hunter Brantley 8, that you follow him on the Twitter machine. We don't care about Theo being in Newark. Do you know what I'm trying to set you up for? The meme that Hunter Brantley has been using for 3 years now. Hunter Brantley has been putting out this photo of Mark Sears' face on the top.
Tower.
Exactly.
The Sears Tower made it platinum.
I'm backing up. Take over. Flowers. Celebrate. How did you feel?
Dude, I was doing backflips and house super, man. I was like, they used my freaking meme, man. They used my picture. That's my picture. They should have gave me like a copyright trademark, something like that.
So no one reached out to you?
Nobody reached out to me. This was just all oblivion, just all out of the blue for me. And I looked down on Twitter, I was like, oh my gosh, that's my picture. It was pretty cool. Not gonna lie to you. Because I've been using that for 3 years. They definitely got that from me. There's no doubt about it.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make it all about us, but I don't know where else they would have gotten it from. You're the only person that I've ever seen it from. Yeah, so
exactly. I was the creator of that meme, and that was definitely my meme that they used. And so I'm grateful that they used my meme for our last win of the 2024-2025 season.
And the last win in Mark Sears' career.
And that's true. Last win of his career, and they're using my meme for it.
All right, fellas. We spent time on Friday, Mason and myself, talked about Alabama and BYU, beating BYU. So if you want to start there, we're welcome to. But really what we want to do is kind of encapsulate the weekend. Alabama goes outside against Duke a little bit. I'm not sad. Are you sad? I am not sad one bit. You shouldn't be sad. We can talk about that if you want to. We're going to talk about Alabama and Duke. We're going to talk about Florida. We're going to talk about Auburn. Houston. Thank you so much, Kelvin Sampson. What's your address? Let me send you some flowers. Let me send you some cookies. Thank you.
Let me send you a big cake that says Tennessee on it.
Thank you. Seriously. I mean, if Alabama's not going to go to the Final Four and Auburn is going to go to the Final Four, okay, fine. These are two dishes that I can eat and swallow and chew up, but I cannot digest Tennessee in the Final Four.
Especially being their first one ever.
Oh.
And with the team that they were worse with this year than they were last year,
yeah,
still be a really good Houston team to go to the Final Four.
All right, Theo. Good morning. You've had a day from hell already.
Oh, I've had a whirlwind in the last 24 hours.
Did you think about Derek Daniel and State Farm Insurance when you were driving on the road this morning through the storm? Did you think about Warren Tire and Auto, making sure your tires are looking good with all the nasty weather? Theo, tell the people what you did to get here today.
Well, I had a lot of trouble getting out of Newark. Apparently the plane broke down or something. So we're delayed about 5 hours in Newark. I land in Atlanta at about 10:30 Eastern. I had a bunch of editing to do. I had my roll call article to write here for Bama Central. And, next thing I know, it's 12:30 Eastern. I was not going to do that drive, so I crashed. I got a hotel, the Condo Lodge in Atlanta. Woke up at 5 a.m., gunned it over here, stopped at Buc-ee's for some breakfast.
I was going to ask. Perfect. What'd you get? What's the Buc-ee's breakfast order? Hit it.
So I got I usually get the brisket taco. That thing's amazing. I got their loaded burrito today.
Yo.
It was good. It was I think I still prefer the brisket. I think the brisket there is just perfect.
The tops on the side, get a little side of top.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I got one of those. So, burrito, very good. Just can't beat the brisket, though. It was worth a shot, though. I don't regret my decision. And now I'm rested. I'm well fed. I'm ready to talk some sports.
Should have went for some banana pudding, too. Can never go wrong with it.
At 5 a.m.?
I thought about getting an apple pie.
Do it. I do the apple pie pretty much every time. The problem is that is the single messiest I. It's amazing. Flakiness of the apple pie. It flakes everywhere in your car. The cinnamon flakes all over yourself. And so I have resigned myself to still get them because they taste so good. But that is an out of the car snack. That is an over the sink. That is an over a trash can. Or preferably a plate.
Yeah, I was not going to do that in the car ride. I mean, the best thing from Buc-ee's are the candied pecans.
Okay.
That's my favorite order. You can't do that at 6 a.m. But, man, that's the best thing you can get at Buc-ee's.
All right, so tell us how Newark was. Obviously, great Thursday night.
Thursday night was incredible. Thursday night might have been, keyword might have been the most fun. I've seen some great things here in Tuscaloosa. Thursday was incredible. I mean, because I'm up there, I'm watching that game, I'm having fun the whole first half, and then when it rains, it pours. That was unreal. I think what it really hit me was that Aiden College, knocking it back for Mark, and he pulls up, and you watch that happen, like, man, this is special. And I immediately, midway through the second half, I start looking like, what is the record? We've got to be approaching it. And then as soon as I finally tracked down that information, they actually put the thing up on the Jumbotron saying that Alabama had beat it, and we didn't just beat it, we shattered it. That was incredible.
And what was crazy is they brought it up, and then 3 shots later, we broke the record. It was like boom, 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 right then and there.
The record was from 92, right? 91, 92?
22.
I would like you to respond to a statement that I heard. Anybody can break the record if they take that many shots. Anybody can make that many 3-pointers if they get it and they just take some. Anybody can break a record if the other team doesn't play defense.
You know whose fault that is, Joe? That's BYU for going under every freaking ball screen the entire game. Every freaking ball screen they went under, and I'm just like, yeah, man. Let's let the best shooting team in America just get wide open looks time and time again. Let's not play defense. Let's not hedge these screens. Let's not blitz these screens. Let's just go right under it. Let's let Mark Sears, the greatest shooter in college basketball history, arguably, just take free open shots. Let's let Aiden Holloway have free reign to the rim. Let's let Chris Youngblood have good looks from the corner. Let's not put any resistance on anybody that's going to drive the lane and try to dish for an open three. Let's just play sound, relaxed, lacking defense. And then when you do that, Alabama's going to kill you. And that's exactly what they did. 25 threes, and they can only blame themselves.
Do you think, Theo, that, what was his name? Kevin Young. Do you think Kevin Young watched the film this year and saw Alabama destroying teams from 2? Because that's actually what it was this year, getting inside. And saying, oh, their 3-point percentage isn't that good. Maybe we can trick them into leaning on the 3-point shot. They sucked in the inside. They tried to take away the interior, and congratulations, you did. But do you think he saw the numbers and was like, oh, they've struggled from 3 this year. They've been hammering inside. Let's just see what's up. Make them beat us for 3.
I think that wasn't a bad strategy to start. Because, we would have killed them inside.
Yes.
Grant, Jared, and Cliff would have feasted on those alley-oops, and there's no denying it. But once it starts raining the way it is, how do you not make any kind of adjustment? And look, we would have immediately started going to the alley-oops, but I mean, you have a better shot there rather than just, all right, just let them keep shooting. When you see that happening, when you see that kind of historic night, look, the way we were playing, we were not going to lose that game. It didn't really matter what they did. Once we started rolling, I don't think anything would have stopped us. But they could have at least tried to make it difficult.
Maybe after the 10th one, maybe we can get the ball this time. Maybe we can double.
I mean,
maybe we can make them give it up. Maybe we can run Mark Sears off the line. Maybe we can see if Cliff can still dunk the ball. If he missed it on Saturday. Maybe who knows, we can miss one or two. I don't know. Change something up.
It's a lot easier to miss when you're up against Malawak and Cooper Flag.
oh my God! Don't say that name. That name's about to get that name's about to get said a million times here. Oh my gosh! Come on, Malawash. What a name! That is. All right, that's Saturday. I have one more question for you.
All right, let's see.
New York, New Jersey, known for great food. All right, so how do you celebrate either Thursday? The game ended late, so maybe not dinner Thursday night late, but Saturday, the next day, Friday. Did you celebrate? Did you have a good meal? Thinking, yeah, that was for that 3-pointer. I'm going to treat myself for winning the Sweet 16 game.
Well, trust me, there was no celebration up there.
It was literally.
So I'm from New York. I'm from about 15 minutes outside of New York. So I know all the places to go for food here. But I got out of Prudential Center at 2:35 a.m. on Thursday. I was staying with a family friend in Hoboken, which is, right across the river. I Ubered over there, got in, had to wake her up at like 3:45. It was bad. I felt bad. But crashed on the couch, woke up really early to get back to the arena on Friday. I did all of my interviews, filmed everything, wrote an article, and then Friday afternoon, I had the best pizza in the world.
Tell me all about it. I love pizza. Give it to me.
You go to Danino's in Staten Island.
Danino's!
The best pizza you will ever have. There's also one out on the West Coast now, too, by the way.
That doesn't count.
It doesn't count. It's good. It's pretty good. But Danino's in Staten Island, the original, you cannot beat it.
What's the pizza order at Danino's in Staten Island for you?
So there are two really great options. My favorite, the MOR. Meatball, onions, ricotta.
Okay. All right.
Perfect. You want to get a little even crazier? The garbage pie. Just have a little bit of everything. Not a huge fan of mushrooms. That's one of the things they put on it. So I prefer the MOR. But that garbage pie is elite. If you're ever in New York, Danino's is your first stop. You don't want to do that, go to L&D's Spumoni Gardens in Brooklyn. I didn't get a chance to make it out there, but I got my Danino's. I had a bagel one morning. And I'm fully satisfied. I'm well fed. And I will not touch a slice of pizza for the rest of the time I'm in Tuscaloosa.
Brutal!
You can at least go to Blaze. LeBron James.
I keep hearing people tell me Blaze.
You can get the triple-double. It's pretty good. Highly recommend the triple-double from Blaze Pizza.
I will not be.
But what you're telling me is you're going to go out to the bar and take 25 shots for the 25 threes we made?
I don't think he would have made it here today.
Yikes.
Yikes. All right, so Danino's is elite pizza. I think we saw an elite basketball team on Saturday, and it wasn't wearing crimson, unfortunately.
It's wearing that royal blue.
Golly. Okay, so if anybody's listening to this show for any length of time, you know I go freaking nuts over brands and blue bloods and tradition. So maybe that's probably why I don't feel one bit bad about losing Saturday. It was it put me back into the Final Four feeling from last year against UConn, where it was like, guys, there's just nothing that you can do. Now against that UConn game, let's be honest. I think that you were fighting in that game for a long time, and might have made a couple shots here and there to surprise UConn. you're physically outmatched at every single position. I mean, I'm sorry. I love everybody wearing crimson, but like from 1 through 7, 1 through 8, almost. I'm gonna give a little room for Darion Reed's athleticism to be at play in that 7 or 8. But 1 through 6, 7, 8, they were longer, more athletic, and also more skilled. Exactly. So, Theo, I want to start with you, then I'll go to Hunter about reactions to the game, and then I want to talk about really what I think messed up the entire game. So, Theo, you're in the building. I am before the first media timeout, texting buddies. Well, it was fun because you could see it from right there. When did you see it? When did it happen for you?
Those 3 turnovers in the first 4 minutes, and you see us fall into that hole, and I didn't say anything. I kept silent. I didn't talk to any of the reporters sitting next to me. I waited until the under 8 time. That point, you can just tell this team, you're not coming out of that hole. You look at the way that Duke plays, and any time that we'd have any kind of spark, any time there'd be anything that would look like a glimmer of hope, I just kind of, in my head, just didn't really think much of it. Now, if you're watching the broadcast on TV, I don't know, were the announcers like trying to keep things interesting? Were they trying to, talk a narrative about Alabama getting back in the game? Or
we're going to talk about shot making, really.
He's not falling.
Yeah, they were feeding the lowest level thinkers who watched the game. Oh, well, you can't, they're not making shots. They're not making, we'll ball the 3 guy, ball the 3. Hunter, you go next. What's your reaction to the game? And then I want to tackle what I really think. What I think really went wrong for Alabama.
I realized this game was over when it was 37-31. Darion Reed has a chance to get the rebound.
No!
Point deficit.
Darion!
I don't know who got the ball for Duke. They sprayed out to Proctor, I believe, and he canned the 3, and now it went from 6-point deficit to 9. I was just like, let's mail it in. And to your point, Joe, they were more skilled, more athletic, and I don't think we had a guy on our team that could consistently guard anybody on their team one-on-one. I think they could have taken anybody off the dribble. It didn't matter if it was Diabate. I think he's a great defender, but Flag and Knipple are just way better than he is. And same thing with Sherrill and Stevenson and Grant could hold his own a little bit. But the biggest thing is Duke is so big. I think the smallest guy in the rotation is 6'5", 6'6". And when you're counting on guys like Mark Susan and Holloway who are 6 feet tall, you're kind of up against it in every way, shape, and form. And it's just hard to overcome that when you need guys like them to score the ball, and they just can't deal with that physicality and that height and that length. And then you got Maliak defending the paint, who was playing for South Sudan.
All right, I'm going to put a pause on you real quick because that man deserves for you to say his name correctly.
Maliak.
We're going to say it. Come on. Malawash. Like you're washing your. Yeah, there you go. Again, because that's where I'm about to go crazy on that. Keep going.
But yeah, to that point, he's playing for South Sudan, and Cooper Flag's playing for Team USA in the Olympics, and they're going up against guys like LeBron James and Steph Curry all summer long. And Mark Spears and Grant Nelson are going up against guys like Aiden Holloway and Jared Stevenson. So they're playing real basketball, and they're trying to figure out how to play the game the right way with LeBron and KD and going up against Jamal and SGA. And we're just, you're up against it at that point when you're not doing the right things in the summer, and they're at that advantage, and they're more skilled than you are.
Yeah. One quick thing before you
go ahead, please.
I was expecting more out of Jared. I'm going to be honest.
I was not at all.
You're a fool, Theo. You're a fool.
Okay,
go ahead.
I have watched Alabama basketball the last 2 years. Generally speaking, I have learned don't expect a lot out of Jared Stevenson, and you won't be disappointed. I came in with like a gut feeling. I thought, you know what? He's got the size. He's got the athleticism. He could cause some problems for Duke. And I was kind of thought,
why does he believe in himself at all?
I don't know.
He does. Like, it is so obvious. It is so clear that like anytime he touches the ball, You can see the computer in his head discombobulate. Pass. Like, timeout. He gets on the baseline there in a rebound, and it was kind of a scramble. And then, okay, good play. You called the timeout to save possession. But I'm thinking to myself, oh, buddy, you just panicked in your. What? He has no. He'll get a rebound from under the basket, and I got to pass it back out in half court. Put the damn basketball back in the hoop.
Could you guys imagine if Mo Diabate had Jaron Stevenson's body?
He'd probably be drafted this year.
He'd probably be
Very realistic possibility he could get drafted if he was in his body.
But Jaron is such, because this, you can see it. You can see that young man, very talented. You can shoot. You're more athletic than the average 6'11" fella. What? I don't know if it's a strength and weakness, like, buddy, and the other guys are stronger than me.
Or if he's playing scared.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something
up here.
It's like, buddy, you are a lion. Go be a lion. Go. Don't be a house cat. No, come on, no.
This summer it's going to be so huge for Jaron. Because
for him personally, yes.
I think he's going to come back. I really do.
I'll bet you $5.
Oh, you want this?
I mean, $5 is nothing to lose. I would take. Look. I hope he returns.
I do too.
My expectation is that he's going to be playing for
North Carolina or NC State.
Where did Brian Hodgson go? At USF?
Yes.
He's going to be at South Florida. He's going to be at Georgia Southern. He's not going to Kennesaw State. He's not. Maybe Arkansas. It's not about drop. It's about play. It's about opportunity.
I think he has. I think Oates still believes in him enough. And
of course,
we've got the coaching to develop him. We can work through whatever mental block there is. If he has any interest in staying with this program,
I'll allow it.
The ability to turn him into a very, very good player.
Yes, I agree.
I would rather use that on Sherrill. Honestly.
It's not like you can't coach both up.
Of course.
I feel like they can help each other improve.
I just don't know if he's going to play a lot next year after the dud he just had.
I mean, he started most of the year. Theo's right. Coach loves him.
Yes.
Coach, he sees
Noah Clown.
He sees the quintessential NATO's player. 3-and-D, long and can defend, athletic enough. Yeah, there's no reason why Jaron should not be accelerated. That's what is so really frustrating to watch him, because he is very much what you'd want. If NATO just draws up a basketball player in a lab, it spits out at something that looks like Jaron Stevenson. So Saturday got messed up right at the start. If you're watching the game, Theo holds his tongue to the under 8, but I literally texted my friends before the under 16 timeouts, and yep, it was fun because you've got we've been watching Alabama basketball, this version of this team, all 30 something games, 40 something, 35 something games. Theo, I don't want to speak for you, but Hunter, we've been watching NATO since 2019, right? Since watching Kyra Lewis run the pick and roll, get right downhill. That's where this all starts. We all start at the top of the key, pick and roll, get downhill. Watch J.D. Davison, watch Colin Sexton, watch Javon Quinterly, watch more of the guards. But yeah, Herb will do that too. Herb did that a bit, for sure. And so it all starts getting to the bleeping rim. Great. And people always, by the three, die by the three. No, it starts by going to the rim. So what happens? You get a contrast from Thursday night where the defense is really inviting you to take a bunch of three-point shots by their stop because we can't match you inside, right? Okay. And Alabama falls, I think, into a trap. You did end up setting your record, 25 three-point makes. But I think it probably set you up for a bit of a trap on Saturday night because it's like, all right, well, we're still hot. We're going to keep going with this. But it's Duke. We're going to play our system. They're not going to just sag off and let us take 3-point shots. So we got to start with what we start with. Well, what do we start with? We start with the pick and roll. BYU didn't care about that. They went under the screen. We'll just take all these shots. Great. Exactly. So we start with the pick and roll. We're going downhill, and we're driving Mr. 6'1" Mark Sears into Kaman Malawash.
And Cooper Flag.
Really, I don't even think. I mean, Cooper was fine, but the Malawash and I'm not Knipple, the young man, the other large fella who has an African name, Patrick Ngungba was the other big old dude. They just stood there clogging the lane, and it's like, okay, little Mark Sears, Aiden Holloway,
come on down. I dare you to try it.
Please, I dare you. Yes, and so your issue is the roller. The roller becomes the issue. You don't have Cliff Amore can catch an alley-oop and dunk the basketball.
Dunking is the problem.
But he can't. I don't know whether it's body position, Theo, or what. You've got Amore. You had Sherrell was just never physically going to be in the game. Sherrell did what he was supposed to do, hit those 3-point shots and try to draw a Malawash out. He did it a couple times. Great. It worked for about 12 seconds. Yes. And so I'm not even upset with Sherrell. You're a child. He's. You're right. You have to keep him. Like, serious. I don't care what the number is. I do not care what the number is. You match it and you say, come back to town. But he's not even involved in this. It's on Cliff. It's on. I mean, Grant did fine, but still, same sort of deal. You've got Jaron who cannot roll with it, who cannot be tough. Like the physicality in the lane, unless it's a clean alley oop for a Cliff, bam, everybody's impressed. Like, you got to bang with a big man. I don't know if you're going to be up for all that.
I don't know. Cliff's never been the one this whole year to just bang with a big man, and then Malawash is 7'2".
Right, and so what happens? You start going. You try to start with Plan A, get to the rim, and very, very quickly it was this is not working. This is not going to work. You couldn't move him out of the lane to get that second pass to get the layup. Right, you couldn't finish at the rim over him, and you couldn't move him enough to work a pass around it. And so all right, well, we're just going to just lazily come up and take some, we're going to take some 3-point shots because we're a 3-point shooting team. And, great, we can't get inside. Could not move the basketball on the perimeter really either because of the length and really Duke's defending. It just became an issue. And so I'm moving us to this point. First, you didn't live and die by the three. You died because you couldn't get inside. You died because you had so important. It's so important. Like, shoot all the threes you want. I don't care. Shoot a three on every bleeping possession as long as the ball at least one time goes into the paint.
They're going to swarm the paint where the ball's at. Somebody's going to go on the perimeter, wide open shot. Kind of like against BYU, but Duke's different animal.
I mean, this is not about taking the three. It was about the process to get to the threes. We're not even going to get inside and make some defense move. We'll throw it into a corner and just see if we can shoot one. You got Youngblood coming off screens and just shooting as fast as he could, and he's already got a super fast trigger. Oh yes, out of control. They were all out of control because why? It's because you have to shoot faster than you're used to because they're longer than you. Right.
You could usually tell within the first 5 seconds of a possession, once Alabama got in the front court, what was going to happen. And most of the time you can just tell we are firing up at that third.
And so I want to ask you both something here with this because you led me right to it, Theo. I love you, Nate Oates, first. You are a great basketball coach. Second, what you've accomplished over the last 3 years specifically, but 7 years, is incredible. Third. 3 compliments right up front. Just want to make that clear.
That's what we had at 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
we can argue that that's not worth arguing. I still think Coach Oates has a lot of room to grow as a coach.
I agree.
A lot of room to grow. And here's what really it takes me back to the timeout gate against Florida in the SEC. Oh, well, why should I call it timeout? To get them to play hard. I just told them to play hard. I spent 10 minutes on that, 2 weeks ago.
Which I still disagree with you for the record on that one.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's acceptable.
See if you disagree with me on this. Because same sort of scenario. They're in the huddle. Is it Allie LaForce? Allie LaForce is on the sideline saying, Coach Oates was in the huddle saying it doesn't matter what I draw up here offensively if you guys can't get a stop. If you guys aren't going to play hard on defense, if you guys aren't going to get a stop. So, and basically he's giving them the rah-rah. Come on, we got to get a defensive stop. And so I'm thinking to myself, okay, on the surface, just like the timeout gate, on the surface, fine, great. You do have to get a defensive stop. You weren't stopping them on defense, so it really didn't matter if you were getting easy layups or easy buckets on the other side because you weren't stopping. But you weren't getting that many clean looks on offense. The offense on TV felt like pulling teeth the entire game.
Felt like it in person too.
Okay, that's what. And so you're sitting in a dentist chair every time down the floor, yanking teeth out, trying to score a bucket. And I'm thinking to myself as I hear this, Coach, while on the surface, you're right. You need a defensive stop. You need it. And for some reason or another, they're picking you apart. Their Duke's offense was really good. I'm thinking to myself, this is elite gaslighting to your own team. It doesn't matter what play I draw up on offense. Yes, it does, Coach. It matters because you need to get them an easy bucket so that they can feel like, okay, we're still, yes! Yeah. I don't care if the easy bucket you're drawing up is a layup, a 12-foot. You can say, we can talk about mid-range all you want. Give me a 12-foot elbow jumper that Mark ended up hitting in the second half. Like, draw a bucket up for a play, please.
Down.
And
first possession of the game, second possession of the game.
There is a chance that Allie LaForce, this reporting was just kind of myopic of just that one moment, and he is drawing up a lot of plays. So there might be dozens of plays being thrown out there. But to have what it tells me, a critic, it makes me think, oh, you don't have any other plays left, Nate, do you? You don't have any other plays left against this length. Look at it. Look at the offense. The offense was like going through mud. Yes. And it was like, you don't have, to me, an amateur, someone who's on the outside looking in, someone who's not an expert, it looks like, oh, you don't have any answers left, Nate. You are throwing your hands up, trying effort and defense, but you don't have any answers to give the team to throw them a lifeline. Now, maybe totally incorrect. Joe, you're an idiot. Joe, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I'm receiving that, like, come on, Coach, throw them a lifeline. Throw them an easy bucket. Generate a layup so that they can run back down the floor and go.
I disagree with you on this one.
Go ahead.
I've done sideline reporting. I know a lot of people have done it. You take the best thing you hear from that huddle and you report it. I find it hard to believe that. And I was at what part of this game was this? Do you remember?
Oh, you're after halftime.
Okay.
You're fighting, but it's looking bad.
It's already starting to slip away.
It's looking bad.
I can almost guarantee that it's definitely true something up. Whether or not it worked is a different story, but what was working? We set ourselves. And first of all, the very first thing you said about this game is perfectly right. There's no reason to feel bad about this loss. We've talked about how elite Duke is defensively. Fourth in Ken Palm's adjusted defensive ratings, or efficiency ratings, rather. They are a special defensive unit. You can make the point that Oates definitely has room to grow. I don't think anyone who's watched Alabama basketball play will deny that. But I am not basing anything at all off of this Allie LaForce side.
I thought that he should have played big more, especially with a team like Duke. You can't match your small ball lineup. I get 3 guards work so much this past year, and we had a lot of success with 3 guard lineups. But in my mind, that Sherrill needs to play more. You got to pair him with Cliff and Grant, and you just got to say, screw it. Bylon, Steers, Holloway, Youngblood, y'all are going to rotate, and we're just going to keep 3 bigs on the court at all times because the 3 guard lineup, like I said, it's death trap with having Steers and Holloway on the court at the same time. Because you can't get inside, you can't get that paint touch that you need, you can't get that open 3, you can't get the good looks that you have gotten in the past against this long athletic Duke team.
I don't think the big lineup would work.
Not on either.
I just,
you weren't athletic. You weren't athletic enough in the inside.
You'd be trying to beat them at their. Sorry.
No, go ahead. No,
you're trying to beat them at their own game, and you're much worse at their own game. I think the only shot we were realistically going to win that was if
make the 3.
First of all, look, Grant and Cliff. Obviously, yeah, they probably should have been a little better if we were to have a chance, but we needed to have a great shooting.
Yeah,
I think everyone knew that coming in, and I think that our best shot was with those 3 out.
But you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again when it's not working because you couldn't move the ball at all. You couldn't.
That's why I think. That's why I'm.
He stretched the floor with Sherrill and Grant at the same time. Granted, you might give up something on the defensive end, but you weren't stopping them anyway with 3 guards out there. So
yeah, but
you got to at least try something else.
We could have caught fire at any time, and the deeper we got into the game, the less likely any kind of comeback would have been without us just raining it down from 3. I think that was our only chance at winning the game at just about every stage of the night.
Just sorry to cut you off. Boiled down to us not being able to stop them defensively, and to change that, you got to match their personnel at some point in that game. I mean, that's like going up against the Nuggets. We're just going to go small every time down the court, and good luck with Jokic and Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. out there.
I just think the report, Theo, you're probably right. She just took the most interesting thing. But Hunter, this outside perspective just feels like a couple of times Nate doesn't have the answer, and his answer is instead to be like, you guys figure it out. And it's like, brother, you're the head coach. You got to – like, yes, defensive effort, not good on Saturday. I mean, okay, no. It was not good enough. Not good enough. It was okay. You were just outmatched physically in basically every way. Could you have been better?
If we could have given 100%, it wouldn't change anything. We could have given every ounce.
It would have changed the margin.
Yeah,
but
we still would have lost.
I think your margin's probably at 6. Your margin's probably at 8.
10.
Well, we're talking about this game like it was inevitable, right? That we were going to lose it. It wasn't. There's
right, which is why I think Coach O should step in and do it. Like, step in, generate a basket. Like, get us out of pick and. Like, how many sets do we have? Like, granted, do not know. Joe does not know. But I'm seeing us run basically pick and roll / secondary break, and basically all the movements come off that, and you've got basically evolutions off the dribble handoff, off the secondary break, off the pick and roll. But I'm sorry. Granted, high school Joe here. In my high school, I'm seeing my coach throwing out a bunch of different. I mean, have we ever run? Has Natos ever come up the floor and run horns?
Never.
I'm sorry. Like again, extremely elementary, and so maybe coach is like, yeah, that belief doesn't work. That's right. Exactly. He's probably like, you are an idiot. Do not even suggest this. It doesn't work. But like, to me, it's like, there's got to be something else. There's got to be some other button you can press on that to generate an open look. And I know we all want to get to the rim and we all want threes, but I don't care when the sun is setting on the season and the tears are starting to come up, buddy. It's time to try something. It's time to be like. Theo, you disagree? Go ahead, jump in and tell me I'm wrong. I don't care.
No, so I fundamentally agree with what you're saying.
Sure.
I just think that you guys it almost sounds like we're underestimating or we're forgetting how good our team really was. Because it sounds like
That's why I think there were other things to try.
it almost sounds like we're running through everything. Like, oh, what could we have done? What could we have done? Like, it's almost like, oh, you're the 14 seed, figuring out, okay, how do we take down 3? Like a first round upset or something.
There weren't any open looks on Saturday.
Yeah, there were.
So, Coach, can you generate an open look?
Like maybe post somebody up for a paint touch. Maybe they'll double Cliff or Grant, and somebody's wide open for an open 3. I don't know.
Look,
Like maybe not, but at least try it. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You miss a shot.
You were missing shots anyways.
They get the ball and whoop, right down the court they go.
I would say that we all know the sport of basketball relatively well, and I'd say that most of the people on the radio because I listened to Tide 100.9 coming in, they were breaking down the game too, and you listen to so many people.
Be careful.
I'm not going to say. I'm just the whole idea.
No, I was saying be careful with crediting them with that much knowledge.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Nobody knows. Like, nobody has the answer.
Exactly. You're right.
That's all. Like, John Shire is 37 years old. He's 37. He might be there another 40 years. Like, it's scary. It is terrifying. If I was a UNC fan, I would probably hate myself.
Nick Saban, Alabama vibes, honestly. It looked like he could just run that conference for years on end, just like Coach K did.
Yeah, and look, obviously Duke is, outside of Kansas, probably the easiest place in the country to win. But, like...
You said the easiest or hardest team?
Dude, I think Duke... No, like...
It's got to be the hardest.
Like, as a...
Yeah.
Like, it's the easiest program to have success. Like, Duke and Kansas are set up for... No coach has ever really been. But you can't use that to discredit what Shire's done at all, because it should have been an adjustment. They should not have been this good right away.
But yeah, you were pointing about Shire. I think Nato needs to learn a thing or two from him about calling timeouts, because it seemed like every time we got within 10, 6, 8, timeout. Whatever run we had, whatever momentum we had, he was calling a timeout. He was saying, all right, let's regroup. Let's talk about this. I'm not going to say we need to play defense, we need to play harder, but we're at least going to try to stop them, and that's exactly what he did. And he did a good job of that, and you got to credit him for that decision of calling timeouts effectively. Because that really goes unnoticed, and give credit where credit's due right there. There's more about X than O's.
Ultimately, I think that Alabama was probably going to lose that game 9 out of 10 times. You look at their roster, number one. Yeah, let me see where am I at? Right there, lower, a little lower. All my softball tweets from yesterday. What do I want? All my softball tweets from yesterday. Oh my goodness, right there, right? Yeah. ESPN's big board for the draft.
Oh. Flag number 1.
Flag 1, Knipple 9. You've got Malawash 10, and Duke also has 41, 46, and 51. So 3 guys in the first 2 rounds, where Alabama might have a first rounder. Let me tell everybody. Yeah, let me tell everybody about our friends Warren Tire, and then we can talk about where this team goes, what this team does next. We are live in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios, off of McFarland Boulevard. We're proudly sponsored by Warren Tire and Auto. They are the premier place for all your automotive needs in Tuscaloosa. They've been at Tuscaloosa and University of Alabama Staples since 1961. They're in their 3rd generation of family ownership. Russ Warren is running that thing so well. Warren Tire is the go-to place for all your automotive needs. They've got 2 great locations for you to get in and out. If you have tires, brakes, or alignment issues, you can see them on 15th Street. At 205, call them at 205-759-5505 to set up your appointment to get you new tires or get your brakes checked out. If you have other automotive needs, oil change, electrical problems, transmission issues, starter problems, you can see them on University Boulevard right next to Theo's house. And you can call them at 205-758-2739. They're right there, apartment complex on one end, and you got the hospital on the other, sandwiched right in between there next to the Arby's. Have you guys had your Arby's yet since the game has been over?
Not yet.
Put it on your list. Got to have some Arby's today or tomorrow. Got to get it done. We thank Warren Tire and Auto. You can go to Warren Tire, get your oil change, and get your Arby's right after that.
You know, if I tried to drive home yesterday during the night, it's probably a good shot at it. My car would be on board right now.
Oh!
That 3-hour drive probably would not have ended well.
A 3-hour tour.
I will try to stay out of Warren as long as I can, but when I need that oil change.
Yeah, you got to put oil change. You got to,
That's the only thing.
Car maintenance. Yeah, new tires to get you driving back to New York.
Oh, yeah. I believe. Honestly, probably do. I'm going to drive them back in just about a month.
Woo! Warren Tire, get you four new sets right there. One new set, 4 times. What do we want to do with the rest of this time, Hunter? Because look, we can sit here and cry about Duke all we want. Like I said, I don't feel bad one bit. They were a better team, and yes, I did kind of complain about some things that Nate Oates did. But ultimately, I think if Nate coaches that game perfectly and the boys play perfectly, you're probably still down by 4 with 30 seconds left. Like, okay, it is what it is. You made it to another Elite Eight. It's 2 in a row. Right. First time back to, goodness gracious, what a time to be alive. What do we want to do with the last 20 or so minutes?
There's one take I would like to get to really fast.
Oh, he's in a run. It better be good. Go.
That's what we get. On just how random March can be. Think about how, and this is one of the things that Oates talked about. Like, he spent over a minute on this at the post-game press.
Thank you. This is good. Go ahead.
Think about how close we were to being a 1 seed. How many things could have gone differently?
I didn't even tell you to talk about this, but this was hammered in some of my discussions. Go ahead.
If we don't get a half-court shot hit on us by this.
If Nate Biddle doesn't have that putback up against us and the trail went out.
If we even
San Antonio right now, probably.
Yeah. Even those 2 non-conference losses, right?
Also, we just crap the bed and exploded.
The only game where we scored less points than we did against Duke. Like, there were so many things that could have put us on that one line, or that could have put us pitted against Houston. And we were so close.
It's all about matchups in March.
It is. And I think every single one of us saw Duke on the other end.
And that was like I said it before. I said it halfway through the year. I was like, or after we lost to Florida in Tuscaloosa, I was like, yeah, this is a god-awful matchup. There's 3 teams we cannot beat. Auburn, with the caveat of Grant and Cliff go off, and it did Florida and Duke. And that's exactly what happened. We couldn't beat Florida or Duke. And it would have taken a Grant and Cliff masterpiece to beat both of those teams respectively.
So do you think that Nate is right to reflect after the loss on the handful of so close? Do you think that because do you think he's right to reflect on the Ole Miss loss, the Florida, the 2 Florida losses, the absolute choke job in Knoxville?
Okay, so it almost seems like the focus in the immediate aftermath should be on the game. But he's not wrong at all, right? He's not wrong in any way, shape, or form.
I've got buddies who, that's a bad attitude. That's a clown attitude. That shows that he's not about just beating Duke. And I'm like, no, you're not seeing him right. You're not like. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Look who made the Final Four. 1 seed Auburn, 1 seed Florida, 1 seed Duke, 1 seed Houston. And just to Theo's point, I think you are 1 seed if you beat Tennessee and you don't lose to Auburn or Ole Miss. Yeah. If you can. Yeah, it would have been a bigger effort, but just beat Ole Miss and Florida at home and just stay perfect at home. You're probably a 1 seed as well. Or you have taken Tennessee's 2 line. You're not in the Duke region.
5.
We get a rematch.
And so, Nate's been scheduling really, really hard over the last 5 years. Great schedule. Next year, even harder. Give us the Celtics, give us the Mavericks and the Lakers. I don't care.
Come one, come all.
and I'm sure you guys have seen this online. All 4 of the Final Four teams are in the top 10 ratings ever.
Yes.
So, look, generally speaking, being a 2 seed is a pretty good place to be. This just wasn't one of those years. This year is an exception, not the rule.
What do you think about the people who are parading themselves as college basketball experts because they picked all 4 1 seeds in the Final Four?
All of the mainstream media did that too, and I was like, y'all are so dumb. No.
Right.
But on one hand, you get both sides. You get oh, you're so smart, you got all 4 number ones. Oh, were you so dumb that you just picked all four number ones and you didn't
do that every year?
And you do it.
Yeah. For all the analysts who actually picked it and justified it and explained it, I have no problem. They were right, and they are allowed to be proud about being right, about nailing the Final Four, because that's a really hard thing to do. I would love to one day get the Final Four perfect. I don't know if I ever will. It hasn't happened since 2008. You can't act like this is a regular
Second time ever too.
Yeah.
What, 50 years?
It's not a normal thing. It might never happen again, for all we know. So I have no problem with people being proud of it, because I only had 2 1s in. I only had 2 1s in my Final Four.
I think Florida might have been by the time I was finally done with it. I think Florida was the only one I put in
I
there.
think I had 3 max. I know for a fact I didn't have all chalk, all 4 number 1 seeds in there.
That's because you're brave, Hunter. I appreciate your bravery.
Well, I try to stay brave.
You want to be brave and talk about this roster. Let's go 1 through 13, and we'll get out of here for the day. We're gonna go 1 through 13 and play. What's his next step? There we go. Yeah, that's a catch. Can we think of a catch your theme for it? There you go. What's your fate?
Hot to go.
Yes, H-O-T-T. Hot to go. The Baron Phylon. All right, I'm taking this by number, jersey number. So 0, you're up first. LeBaron Phylon is seeing a lot of 25, 27, 32 draft pick range. What's happened with LeBaron, Hunter?
I think he's NBA bound. I think his stock grew over the last month and a half. And I think he is bound for the NBA. He had a good game against Duke, against a real physical, very lengthy team. And I think he's played as good as he could have played this year, being the second option to Mark Sears, ball handling wise. And I think it would be in his best interest to go pro this year.
Theo?
Direct quote. I'm sure we'll get to that later on.
Yeah.
That was him when asked about his future. He loves it.
All right, pause you real quick. Was anything that anybody said in post game about their future
In telling it all.
worth bringing up? Because every single one of them goes, I don't know yet. Oh, I think I'm coming back. I want to come back.
Well, there's one that we'll get to in literally a second.
All right, my take is no. It's
But-
worthless.
I think that I do not think
LeBaron, I will make it a consensus that I think he's going to be gone, but I think there's a small chance that you could say, hey, buddy, if this draft decision ends up at 33, at 34,
Maybe come on back.
then yeah.
Well, the thing is, he could put himself in a perfect position because he's probably going to end up on a pretty good team. He is probably going to end up in a great team.
The Thunder.
And I'm a Thunder fan as well.
So I think LeBaron's gone. All right, Mark is definitely gone. We don't need to talk about the graduates. I'm sorry, Mark. You want to take 2 seconds, Theo, and just Mark's legacy. That's what we ought to do with the people who are graduating. That's what we ought to do. So, Mark, what's Mark mean to you?
I posted on Twitter right after the game. I think you reposted it. Should number 1 hang in the rafters? We got 50 votes. It was like 60% yes. I think he's the greatest player in Knicks entire history. And I think you would need a very, very good argument to even make me consider otherwise.
I second that opinion. The only guy I can even think of that comes close to the legacy Mark Sears left behind is Herb Jones, just because he was from Tuscaloosa County and that he had the lasting impact. He stayed the course. He built his foundation to what it is today. But I got to give it up to Mark and what he's done for this program. It's been life changing for me. I've enjoyed watching him play. and I'm going to miss him very much. And I definitely think number one should be retired. I don't know if you're going to do it like Sears and Jones type thing, because I think Herb definitely deserves some credit. Like, don't leave Herb out to dry just because he didn't make a Final Four.
The thing is, when you only have one retired jersey, it has to be so selective.
Yeah.
It's hard to decipher who to pick, because I would give it to Mark, but
I don't.
So much disrespect to Herb Jones.
Is it?
He could have left. Yeah, he could have left when Nato took the job. He could have went somewhere else, and he stayed. He got better, because people forget Herb Jones was not a good player coming in his freshman year, and he worked hard. He got so much better. He couldn't shoot worth a lick, and he's leaving, going to the NBA, and he's now shooting 35% from three. I would definitely give Herb Jones some credit. I don't know if it's credit Mark gets, but I would definitely put Herb Jones up there on that same pedestal a little bit.
Carmelo Anthony is one of the greatest players in Denver Nuggets history, right? His number 15 will never hang in the rafters, because look who wore it afterwards.
Jokic.
You know? I think that's a case like this.
I feel like that's a different thing.
I don't.
Because he won championships and MVPs.
That's basically what Mark did. You're one of 2 All-Americans in school history. You led us to our first Final Four. There are levels to it. If we had like a Ring of Honor or something, absolutely right.
I'm with Theo. I'm
Mark
sorry.
Mark Sears.
Everybody,
look at this program. It didn't work that day without Herb Jones.
you will never take away one-handed free throws against LSU, but
You can't.
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you're hanging a number one in the Raptors, it says Sears because of what he's done, taking you to a Final Four, taking you to two Elite Eights.
It's Herb used to wear number 10.
It's no disrespect to Herb at all.
I don't think Herb, right. I think Herb is a great player, but I don't think he is. I don't think he reached that top tip to be a your jersey's retired type player.
Especially when you beat one of
them, because he was like
sure, but who cares what he wants?
The coach, he definitely.
Some coolers he owed some weight, but like you're talking about, you're adding somebody to Wendell Hudson. So Wendell Hudson breaks a color barrier.
Maybe rename the hard hat after Jones if you want to.
Hey, there you go. I like that. I like that. I love that, actually. I think that's a great.
That's
amazing. He definitely broke the record for most hard hats.
All right, let's keep going. Aiden Holloway. Everybody going to say back. Everybody thumbs up. He's coming back. Is anybody going transfer portal?
Stevenson.
No. Is anybody voting transfer portal for Aiden Holloway?
He's the one guy who I think we can take value in what he said. Asked if he's coming back, he said, yes, I love Alabama.
Yeah, I just don't think that like, great quote, fun. I just don't think that 15 minutes is what the fellas say, and that 15 minutes is worthless, because none of them have talked to their mom and daddy, and then not to say that they were lying to you or trying to spin anybody in any direction, but you're gonna get home with mom and dad's gonna talk to agent, all kinds of stuff. Like, but I'm with you. Aiden's coming back. I think he's coming back for sure.
If he's not back, he will be an obscenely rich man next year.
Ooh.
It would. I really think it would take an absurd offer.
Probably at least 500, 600K.
All right, Theo, our friends at the Tuscaloosa News might have stirred up some stuff about Littrell Wrightsville, but we're all in agreement that he's coming back.
I'm not buying that either.
What the heck was that, Hunter? What was Chase doing?
Dude,
I love you, Chase.
I love Chase. I think what he was getting at was just what Littrell told him in that moment, because he talked to him for 3 days straight. He talked to the media for 3 days straight. And Chase, I guess, he didn't talk to him the first 2 days when he said, yeah, I'm coming back. There's not any questions. I'm not worried about it. I'm coming back and rehab. I'm going to be way better than I was 2 years ago, or even last year before I tore my Achilles. And then he goes on to tell Chase and T News that, I might leave. I don't know. I might play somewhere else. Not sure. It's up in the air. But I strongly believe Littrell will come back with convincing tornadoes and company like, hey, man, look what we did when we had you healthy. We made the Final Four. We were a really good team. And you are very valuable to us. You are our best perimeter defender. All the right things is going to be said in the exit meeting. And I think we'll be back.
Wearing number 3 and making threes and playing defense.
Agreed. No objection.
Making threes, playing D.
I'm so irritated. I just realized, Theo, every single time that I come in here, I'm saying this on air because I did it so well last week with it, but I started the week off terribly. This laptop doesn't set up to connect these microphones. It just connects the other audio. So we've been talking kind of in this dead space. I mean, everybody's hearing us, but it's not very good. They're hearing us much better now. They're hearing us much better. That sticky note that's over there on that table, it says to do the right thing with the thing. So
Plug it into the computer.
So now that I'm saying this on Mondays, you can smack me in the face going forward to make sure that we have this right. I mean, they still heard it. It wasn't that. It's not as clear.
It's all Hunter Brantley's fault. He's the reason we're not on this couch.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
it's all right. It's all right. Well, let's wrap up. Let's wrap up going quicker here.
Right.
Grant, Chris, gone, graduating. Mohammed Diabate, everybody will be coming back here.
Back.
Cliff gone, graduation. I think Jaron is going to transfer.
I have
I
$5
agree.
on it, so he better come back now.
Aiden Terrell, everybody's saying we got to get him back.
Someone's
Need
going to
him
throw him
back.
a crazy offer, but
I think Nas Cunningham's going to transfer.
I agree. Oz is out.
I hope not. I'd like to. I mean, I just want them all to stay and develop.
I think it would make a lot. I think it's probably pretty likely Nas might.
Maybe Mississippi State, lower tier program like that in the SEC.
But at the same time, maybe he wants to experience playing.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
he
definitely
does.
fun to play in games and not sit on the bench.
And
That's
worst
definitely a lot of fun.
case scenario, you're a redshirt sophomore transferring out of here who still clearly has a ton of talent.
And you can play anywhere in the country, really. You can play for Hodgson. You can play for Pannone. You can play for Petway. You can play for Chris Jans, like I said earlier.
Do we think Darion Reed's transferring? Yes, probably.
Maybe NBA, maybe.
No,
Is
I don't think so.
someone gonna tell him some JD Davidson like information? Be like, yeah, dude, go pro, yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I hope he comes back. I think he might be going to Athens.
I think a
Athens,
lot of
Georgia.
it. Yeah, I think a lot of it also depends on
Could be.
what we get going in the portal. I really, really like this Noah Williamson guy.
I do too. From Bucknell,
I really
we
like
need
him.
a guy like that bad.
So I think Darian, very high possibility of him being out of here.
Because that's another thing we didn't have really. It was a consistent stretch five that could shoot the three, like all these other teams have, like Duke, Auburn, Florida.
I'd like to see Florida Duke because I think that the
Me
Florida
too.
bigs against Malawash and
And Flag.
Ngumbo,
And Flag.
I think that the Florida
Nipple.
bigs might have something for those. Just have enough
It would be
to
a
keep
great
them
matchup.
off balance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Florida Duke would have the potential to be in one of the best championships we've ever seen.
I feel like we say that every year, and sometimes it's a dud, sometimes it delivers, and I really
Nah.
hope this delivers.
Do we say that every year?
We said it for Baylor Gonzaga that one year
That
in
one really
2021.
was, though.
and
That one was special.
That one was, but it wasn't that good. It didn't really live up to the hype that we built it up to be.
Yeah, but all right, so that's one of the ones where the matchup rises to that. Like, I don't think anyone came into San Diego State, UConn
Yeah, fair.
saying, "Oh yeah, I can't wait for this."
But
game."
UConn, Purdue, people were kind of like, yeah, Edie, Klingon.
Like, to me, this just rises to a much higher level.
That's
But
fair. That's
2012, Kansas, Kentucky is one that I'd throw in there as far as
fair. Kansas, North Carolina in 22 is up there.
that
Just
one
come
more
back of all time.
I'm talking more so about like the hype coming into the game,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
I mean, yeah. and-
1979.
yeah. 92,
Magic and
Leitner
Bird.
in the Fab Five.
nothing will ever top 70.
All right, fellas, we got to get out of here for the day. Theo's got to go to class. I cannot believe what you did today. Thank you for it, Theo. Hunter Brantley, tell everybody where they can find you at Hunter Brantley 8 and everything you're involved in as we get out of here for the day.
Follow me on Twitter at Hunter Brantley 8. I have great tweets about Alabama baseball. If you're a baseball enthusiast, please follow me.
Theo, you want to say anything to the people before we leave? Now that they can actually hear you?
Well, I have one question for Hunter here. Your time in the sun on Twitter, kind of done, right? Your whole you have no more Sears Tower.
For now, yeah. It's retired.
What's next? What's the next thing? you're gonna come
Oh,
up
I
with?
got a whole lot of memes left in me,
Yeah?
man. I got way more memes left in me. I'm not done yet. We're just getting started. I got a
Okay.
Holloway. We got Mo D. If we get that guy from Bucknell, I'm sure there's going to be a crazy meme on him.
Yeah.
Wooly. See if we get Wooly from the portal. That'd be a sick meme.
Come on home.
Come home.
I think he's
Please come home.
as close to a lock as we have in the portal.
Ugh, we'll see. He's
I
got
don't want
he's got a
this.
lot of teams after him.
How do you not
Got
come
us
here, though?
get off pesky Bruce Pearl.
Like, how do you not choose Alabama?
Because Alabama didn't recruit him right out of high school, probably, and that would rub me the wrong way.
Did
that
Auburn?
would piss me off.
I mean, I know.
I don't know. I'm just saying. Like,
Maybe.
I'm being hypothetical
Maybe,
here.
yeah.
Like, that would rub me the wrong way.
It would, but
But hey, we
Chris
want you now.
Youngblood. Chris Youngblood made the decision,
And that
to
would-
come here later on. You think Mark Sears wanted to be recruited here?
Do you think the Youngblood experiment worked out? Real quick.
I do.
No.
No,
I
it
did.
underperformed.
Bad offense,
It
not
underperformed. Not
excuse me,
consistent
bad
enough.
defense, not consistent
You see,
offense.
I disagree. I think
Underperformed.
I didn't quite think that I think some people had expectations too high for him.
I wanted him to be a defender and make shots, and
Me
he
too. 3
wasn't.
and D, and he wasn't that at all.
I don't
He
know.
had moments, but I think that injury kind of screwed him up a lot.
It did, but the
Kinda held him
moments were
back.
there. One name we didn't get to: Houston Mallett.
Well, what would he transfer for?
I mean, he's an intriguing player to me because I'm very excited to see. I don't know what he's going to be for us.
I don't think you should expect anything from him, and whatever he gives you next year is bonus.
It's a box of chocolate.
Yes, is my thought. I think he's a good player. I'm not sure really how healthy you are, buddy. I think that he might be dealing with some
Chronic knee problems.
right. Not exactly. Not just
Very serious.
Yeah, not a knee injury, but chronic issues. And
Not
so
life threatening, but
Sure.
life altering.
career altering, playing basketball altering. But we'll see. We'll see. I liked his effort. I mean, he probably was the most blue collar guy on the team for the 3 minutes that we saw him play this year.
For the 2 games he played, he gave 100% effort.
He maxed out.
He was running up and down the court like a madman.
I am so annoyed because I didn't hit the right button. All right, that's good. That's good. It's Monday. It's fine. It's raining. It's fine. We're in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios. We're proudly sponsored by Warren Tire and Auto. We've been hanging out with Theo Fernandez and with Hunter Brantley. We're going to get out of here. We're going to talk to you tomorrow. We'll dive back into spring football and all that jazz as we move away from basketball. Tomorrow, Hunter Brantley. Tomorrow we're going to be having the Alpha, Alexander Lincoln from New Era Wrestling, joining us because Bad Moon Rising is happening in Jasper, Alabama on Saturday. There is no Final Four to watch, so I will be driving to Jasper, Alabama. You into pro wrestling at all, Hunter? I know Theo's not.
I am a little bit, yeah. I was a big CM Punk fan back in his heyday, man. He was the best on the mic.
My
and he still
guy.
is really good. Still really good on the mic.
Yeah, you speaking my language right there, Hunter.
I hate he took a 10-year sabbatical from WWE.
Well, he's back now,
I'm glad he's back.
and he's kicking
Thank
tail.
God he is.
He's main eventing WrestleMania this year
As
for
he
you.
should. Every year.
That's
here
right.
on out.
That's right. So we're going to talk to the Alpha, Alexander Lincoln, tomorrow on the program to set up Bad Moon Rising in Jasper, Alabama. We will see who's challenging the Alpha for his new belt. He won a belt at Crimson Clash right here in Tuscaloosa, and we'll see who steps up to challenge him. So we'll talk to the Alpha, Alexander Lincoln, tomorrow. We'll talk with Mason Woods tomorrow, and we will talk with you right here on the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central and BamaCentral.com.
Thanks for joining us on today's edition of the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. Keep up with Joe on all his social media pages at Joe Gaither6. Subscribe, rate, and review the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and be sure to read us daily at BamaCentral.com.